Ahoy, sea dogs! This be the dread pirate Periwinklebeard, and you're listening to Pirate Port Radio with Abstracticus and Paladin Topaz. Let's set sail!
Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Pirate Port Radio. I'm your host, Abstracticus, and with me, as always, Paladin Topaz.
Howdy, everybody.
And then we have a special guest tonight. We have Steve of Arrrrg Gamer. What's up, Steve?
Yeah, not too much, you guys.
I'm doing alright. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
So with Paul Morgan, one of the Morgan brothers who owns rargamer.co.uk, I'm also one of the site guys that runs the top 5 lists. So if you've ever read one of my top 5s, basically there's 100 of them to get through. So if you've read at least one of them, thanks a lot from the bottom of my heart. And that's what I've been doing now for about 5 years. So, yeah, that's what I do. I maintain the Rare Archives portion of the site as well, so just documenting all of Rare stuff. And Sea of Thieves, too, which is the newest one that I'm pretty sure all of us here are excited about.
Absolutely. Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into the concept art of the month. We'll start with this beautiful island piece that I've been asking for months.
Finally got it.
Yeah, right. And it started off as nothing but 2 hills/mountains with a bridge that connects the two. And Captain Bones told us that if we got 300 retweets, he'd show the full island. And I have to say, the island is gorgeous. I love the horseshoe shape, and just like the detail in it is just like there's no words for it.
The color palette, like from the green to the sky, like it looks perfect for just what the game I think is basically. And to see the bird's eye view of the island, it showed us a lot more without showing too much, of course, because we never get to see too much of it. But I really like.
See, Rare's really good at making kind of iconic geographic locations within their game. I'm looking at this and I'm seeing Spiral Mountain, I'm seeing Windy, you know. It's that typical mountain edge with like that little rope bridge in between. That tells a whole story all itself. It's like one of the tiniest images in the picture. And probably in the game when you walk up to it, it'll be a really tiny detail, but honestly, I can see myself walking across that rickety thing, you know, the waves crashing below.
Right.
Everything you need to know about it is right in that image, you know. Picture tells 1,000 words, and that one you could write, you know, a 500-word essay on it.
And for me, I feel like the left side of it over here seems a lot more different. Like, it doesn't have as many trees, and that kind of makes you think, like, what's here? Because we're so far out of it that you can't really tell, other than the fact that there's so many trees up here, yet there's nothing here, and it makes me wonder what's there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I guess we can move on to the next one. Pretty much covered that. This next riddle, it's Decks of Silence bestowed a prize of heartening sounds, I tell no lies. What do you hear in this, Steve?
Again, Captain Bones riddles, they're always kind of really secretive and stuff. There's typical, the nautical jargon going on, like, decks of the ships is what it's referring to, obviously. But everything else is really, mysterious, typical Rare fashion, right? Like, you're hiding behind everything. So, heartening sounds, I tell no lies. I honestly, I don't know. The Decks of Silence makes sense, but everything else is a mystery. But I'm sure in a few, months, years, decades, maybe later, when Sea of Thieves comes out, maybe we'll look back at this and be like,
that's what it was. Yeah.
I mean, actually, I heard a theory too that is referring to like decks of cards.
Oh, okay.
That was Shamrock.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Definitely possible. But of course, like with most riddles, we can't really think of a definitive answer, and if it has any meaning. But
right, and I kind of got like a sense of Davy Jones' locker in it. Yeah. For whatever reason, that was like one of the first things that came to my mind when I read it.
Mm-hmm. Has that kind of finality to it.
Yeah. Like, I think we've said this before, but do these riddles actually have answers?
Yeah,
that's like the big question.
We've got to figure that out.
We really do.
Along with his hint there, though, like the follow-up is, I guess the words of the pirate are off the table then.
Yeah.
saying off
Yes,
the table
exactly.
kind of falls into that card deck thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was a pretty smart idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys read the recent article on the Rare website as a whole, but
Yeah.
Lee Loveday recently did an article about the roundup of the recent stuff lately, and he actually mentioned my comment about.
I
the
saw that. I
locker.
saw that.
Yeah.
He
Nice.
mentioned a
Yeah.
whole bunch. Yeah.
in the article, so I was like, oh, that's cool. And then the bubble noise. I mean, that's probably like the noise that you would hear when you're swimming, air bubbles
Yeah,
escaping.
I'm imagining like treasure chest opening from the bottom of the sea or something. But
I'm imagining
whatever.
harps playing as soon as you go
Yeah,
under like any
yeah,
typical
yeah.
Rare game. It's like take that overworld theme and put harps in it. Ba-boom, ba-boom, you know.
There's really not too much to say other than it's the sound of bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving right along to the next one from May 4th, we've got looks like a canal that runs through a cave, and then outside of the cave there looks like there's some man-made type planks.
Well, yeah, and I mean, obviously that means some people have been here. Whether that means like island life, I don't really know. But maybe as you move deeper in the cave, you know, with your lifeboat, I guess, because a ship wouldn't really fit in there. But you might find where they are, what they've done, you know.
The really promising thing about this is I look at this picture. It has this really kind of great 3D effect to it, where you can obviously tell, okay, the top rock's in the background, the front of the cave's there. All I want to do is explore it. All I
Yeah,
want to do is
yeah,
go
oh, yeah.
inside and see and that is such great promise for the game, because I think I'm going to be sailing along the coast, see this
just
cave,
wanna
and be
see
like, well,
everything.
gotta go in here for
Gotta
now.
Gotta go. I don't know. I feel like this could be like part of the pirate refuge that we got from the Talk Like a Pirate video. If you paid attention to that one,
Yeah.
they dropped those little hints. I feel like maybe this was like part of it, or maybe this was just like, all right, we're gonna build like a little base here, and then it looks like it's all rickety and old, and maybe they were like, all right, well, this is not safe anymore, so we abandoned it.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the same island too as like the other one we got. You know, it could be.
We'll talk about that first. And then the next one, before we go back into the tavern tunes, is the picture of another island. It looks like an arch of a cove, and then in the ceiling, ceiling.
See,
There's
non-existent
a
sea.
giant hole in the middle, and over here, on the more towards the middle, it seems like there's a cave entrance. And then obviously there's this abandoned jetty that looks like it's fallen apart.
See, the reason I love this one so much is because it looks like photography, you know? Somebody's taking a picture. I mean, it's not, obviously, it's concept art, but they did such a great job with the detail. I mean, I can't imagine having my character in this world and exploring it, doing whatever I want, and how I would end up in that position.
Yeah. When I look at this, I think of all the potential stuff they could even do with just lighting effects.
Yeah.
Like, I'm imagining there's a clue to this spot in the game in particular, and there's like a riddle for it, like, gather ye ship and gather ye crew, dig to the spot where the light shines through. Something like that, and you're like, all right, I gotta dig right there, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it.
And Jay from the Crow's Nest actually mentioned that this here looks like it might be a building of some sort. Me personally, I think Paladin would agree that it just seems like it might be a rock. That the light
I think
just
it just
seems
looks
like it's
so weird because of the lighting.
Yeah.
It could be like the sail of a ship. I don't know what significance that would have anyway. But, I mean, yeah. It's just the detail, man.
Just the hanging vines too. I just every little pixel of detail. I'm just
It's beautiful.
salivating over.
And the horizon, like I
Yeah.
mean, there's no
And like
sun.
the few
but
little doors back
Well, the
there.
sun's above, way
Yeah.
above.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's more structures here, kind of.
Yeah, and then there seems like another jetty over there towards the right, towards the opening of it,
Yeah.
Looks to be in a little bit of better state of repair than
as well as along with the other one. The next one is the
The
tavern,
best.
the best,
The best.
the best one. It's the tune from the trailer from E3, and if you guys have been paying attention, we've actually been using that in our intro for about 4 months now. I feel like the artwork for it was just the artwork, that music box.
It wasn't
was
much
awesome.
animation, but it was like perfect.
Yeah.
It was.
Absolutely.
I love how it's in that cartoonish style that the game's
Like,
in.
and that's my question too. If it's gameplay or if it's
just something
just
that was
an animation made
for,
for the YouTube.
right.
Because I mean, they could use the assets again, but I don't know.
Yeah, true enough. It's almost like an aesthetic that's like a wood carving,
Yeah.
like a lot of Sea of Thieves stuff. I don't know if it has an actual place within the game, because Rare Replay did a similar thing with they had like a music box sort of, or a vinyl record, I should say.
Yeah.
And that took place in the game where you could see all the behind the scenes video, but there wasn't like a physical location, of course, that you could view with that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So with this thing, I don't know if there's going to be maybe a record player within the game, but you can totally tell that, you know, they've invested just as much time into that as everything else. So it's promising to see that even the little tiny details, they're going way above and beyond.
Yeah.
So I honestly can't wait to play this game.
It's something, all right.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say. This was a rather short episode. We're gonna try to flesh this out a little more. Why don't you tell us, Steve, what you're really looking forward to in it?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the Easter eggs. That is
The Easter eggs.
Yeah.
of
Okay.
all things.
Okay. I gotta break it down. I'm not solely looking for the Easter eggs. I'm looking forward to playing the game through. I'm looking to playing through the game again after I finish it to see if there's any other things that there's, you know, little minor changes. I'm looking forward to playing online with you guys. I'm looking forward to. There's a whole slew of things, but one of the things that's really important for me is Easter eggs, because Rare as a company has always put little nods and little jibes in every single one of their games. And I want to see where Sea of Thieves fits into that. If it's going to pay homage to like Banjo-Kazooie or Perfect Dark or anything like that. You know, even stuff like Connect Sports Rivals. If you looked in the right places, you could see where all the heritage and kind of, you know, historical bits came through.
Because this seems like so much of a bigger game, like, you know, physically, geography, like an open world, that they'll have so much more opportunity to do that. So they could do some cool things.
Oh, exactly. Well, given the size and the scope of the world as well, like, there is potentially Easter eggs in here, or little nods and references that will go unnoticed for years.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Years.
Yeah.
And I figured finding that, it's just like finding treasure, honestly, you know?
Yeah, that's the treasure for you. It's the Easter eggs, yeah.
Exactly. So just going through like a cave and seeing like one of those little tiny insignificant details that most people just pass over because there's, you know, an undead skeleton chasing them, you know? Just for me to look back and be like, oh look, there's a little Banjo-Kazooie reference there. I didn't see that before, you know? Or even seeing like, I don't know, a chalk outline of like 1881 on the wall. I'm going to be noticing something that no one else has really seen because, you know, as I said, they're being chased or something like that, and I'll be freaking out going, that was in Grab by the Ghoulies, that was in a Tick Attack, you know, just that was in Banjo-Kazooie, and, you know, it's the little details like that really count.
And, like, they can do so many more things, too, like with, I don't know, carvings in the trees or carvings in wood ships or, like, little, like we saw in the trailer, paintings, you know, on, like, rocks and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool too. There's an opportunity for sure.
Yeah, there really is. There's so much opportunity to drop. Like every single game Rare's ever made, there's an opportunity to drop it. Like some sort of like, hey, we did this back in the day. Maybe you didn't catch it, but now you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this one's probably going to be a little shorter. We seem to have
Short and sweet. We
blown through it.
Yeah.
Before we go, I do want to ask Steve,
Yep.
you know, kind of, I guess a little late, what his first impression was. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, Rare Replay was huge in itself. And then for Craig to be like, well, we have a new IP too. Let's look at a trailer.
Yeah.
What was your...
I was actually really fortunate enough to be in the crowd at E3.
Right.
Like when the trailer was unveiled.
I remember the conversation episode
Yeah.
with all four of you, yeah.
So I was in the audience when they, I think it was the end of the Lara Croft Tomb Raider trailer when they first announced Rare Replay. And seeing that, I was blown away. And if I had walked away from E3 just watching that trailer, I would have been fine with that. I would have been, hey, there's a great new compilation coming out. This is incredible. And I would have just been stoked about that. But then when Craig comes out on stage and he lines up the next one and he goes, we got this brand new exciting IP, never before seen, here it is. And I was like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
So the first scene where, he's looking up into the air and he's got like the hand over and the birds fly out, and I'm like, ooh, I'm intrigued right away. Like, what is this all about? And of course you got Robin Beanland's like song going through like the hurdy-gurdy, and he goes in the cave and then comes out, and you just hear that like ding of the ship, and then it goes into the beach scene where the ship is like in the harbor, and they're running toward it, and everyone around me was completely focused on that trailer. There was Amir. I've talked to him about it. He said there was gasps that you could hear in the audience, and I can back him up on that and say there were people gasping because it's, it wasn't unlike anything you've seen. But you expect that from Rare. You expect them to go above and beyond. You expect them to, do something new and unchallenged that no one's ever heard of or seen. So that was incredible just to have that opportunity to see what the next chapter in Rare's library is.
So, do you have any idea for what you think's going to come after Sea of Thieves?
I'm hoping,
like another new IP or...
The thing about Rare and the interesting thing about them is they tend to go through this pattern of new and old.
Yeah.
So, especially in the Xbox library, the first game they came out with was Grab of the Ghoulies, then Conquer Live and Reloaded.
Okay.
So, Ghoulies is something new, Conquer is something old.
Yeah.
Xbox 360 comes around. Cameo, Perfect Dark. Something old, something new.
Yeah.
Xbox One, Rare Replay. That's 30 old things right there.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves, completely new.
No.
So I don't know what they're going to do from this point. If they do something old, I'm really hoping of a reimagining of one of their old IPs for the next generation. Like I've got my fingers crossed for like a new Banjo-Kazooie or something like that. But
you're not alone in that.
Oh,
trust me, you're not alone.
Exactly. I mean, Nuts and Bolts was a good tease, like a good little taste, but I want them... It's hard to say because I want to say, go back to your old platforming roots, but I know they want to make something viable.
Yeah, as creators.
Exactly. They want to take that next step, and I want to back them up on that next step and be like, But, I don't know, just the thought of walking into a massive level with collectibles everywhere, just...
Like an open-world Banjo.
Precisely, but just, Sea of Thieves is like really that graphical thing that you're looking for where you're like, it's not real world, but at the same time it's not completely removed from it either.
Mm-hmm.
So to see a new Banjo game, something like that, is really cool. And Perfect Dark, I'm really hoping... The cool thing about Perfect Dark, the original, was the kind of alien thing about it. Like, I'm a huge sci-fi nerd.
Yeah.
I like the whole extraterrestrial angle.
So I'm sure Elvis is Elvis is a legend to you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Perfect Dark Zero was great, but they missed out on that whole alien thing. They alluded to it a little bit within the game, but it was kind of missing that part. And I'm like, oh, that's so core. Like, you need to, satisfy that bit for the sci-fi nerds like me that want to talk about aliens all day.
So I guess where can we find you?
You can find me at raregamer.co.uk. Normally I do top 5 lists once a month. So you should be seeing lists from me, on a semi-regular basis. I'll be doing a lot more Sea of Thieves stuff. I've kind of been leaning on a whole bunch of Rare Replay stuff because it's still kind of fresh in everyone's minds.
Absolutely.
Sea of Thieves, no one's really caught a glimpse of it much since E3. There's been the Captain Bone stuff and, all sorts of little glimpses like that. No one's got a chance to really go through or see any further trailers. So there's not a lot I can base a list on with that. I remember when Connect Sports Rivals was first announced, I released a list called the top 5 reasons Connect Sports Rivals is going to make you realize that you're a jerk. Just going through, because the first clip is the guy reaching up and grabbing the guy's ankle and just tearing him down, and there's so much to take away from that, but it was such a short trailer that it was tough to come with those. And, Sea of Thieves is really inspired and really exciting to see like that, but I just need a little more to start making lists on, So I'm hoping if they show anything at E3 or
like
if they
top 5 things to be excited for or something.
Precisely, yeah, something like that. But I need a little more salivation to go on. I need a little bit more, just content. But once I have that, I'm sure it's like Rare Replay and Connect Sports. The lists are just going to start flowing like a waterfall, never stopping. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you. Have you attempted to write any top 5s for Sea of Thieves?
I've actually got one in my phone, actually. Let me just check it real quick. So I'm trying to make a list on, again, what's going to make Sea of Thieves different from the rest. The items I have here might be spoilers. So it's like the top 5 reasons that Sea of Thieves is going to be amazing. So I've got down cutting-edge technology. There's going to be unforgettable worlds, awe-inspiring visuals. It's got that trademark Rare character and humor. And the number 1, it's kind of sentimental a bit, but it's you. Because you're going to make Sea of Thieves awesome. You're going to make Sea of Thieves awesome by playing the game and by acting like a pirate, making people walk the plank, stealing treasure, burying it, as a...
Telling your stories.
Exactly. As a game that's really this game is really player driven. Like if nobody does anything and just stays on the shore, then it's not really a game. You'd be like, well, I guess I'm going to be the only ship cruising around. So the fact that you're going to go out there and just see all these ships on like the game and in the ocean and stuff like that, it's going to be player driven. It's going to be really informed by who plays the game and how they play the game.
Yeah.
So you're an important part of that experience. So that's why I put that at number 1. So I don't know when I'm going to put that list together, if I will. Some lists never get released. Other ones I change entirely through the process. It's a kind of rating craft thing. But hopefully that one comes out in some kind of capacity. Or, as Sea of Thieves evolves and goes on, I might be able to come up with something else. But that's one of the ones I'm looking forward to writing because, I think you guys would agree. Like Sea of Thieves is really, it's got everybody stoked and excited. And,
oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I think we're about 20 minutes in. We pretty much covered everything. We got Steve's opinions. I think it's going to do it. So, thanks for listening, Captain Ab.